Hello, IT Nation. Sean Lardo here, the economy evangelist here with IT Nation. In for another episode, actually, to talk to some of my favorite people. Today, we are going to go into something that I love truly, especially being part of this industry, which is my baby, and that's PitchIT. For those of you that don't know, PitchIT, today is the last day for applications for any vendors that are watching this that want to apply. You must submit your short and long form before midnight tonight, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard, actually. That's what time I work on, to be considered. But for those of you that don't know what PitchIT is, I'll make it simple. PitchIT is a Shark Tank-like competition. It is built for ConnectWise looking for the innovators of innovators within our space. First mission must be that they have to support the mission of the MSPs. The second is that they must be able to integrate within our ecosystem and be a functioning factor within our community. So, it's a big deal for us because, as you know, we're always very strongly committed to the open ecosystem concept. We need to have the best of the best involved. So PitchIT has been a way for us to bring in the people you may not have a chance to see and give them the attention they deserve so you guys, the MSPs, can find them. Now, something to really point out throughout the course of this, they go through a long program of 16 weeks. They do go through tons of trainings. They go through a lot of podcasts, broadcasts, live streams, whatever it may be. The whole goal behind that is to make sure that they are being developed to the utmost and that we're also helping to further vet them out. So whenever you meet them, you know exactly what they do and how they can benefit you all. Now, the whole point behind all this, though, for PitchIT, the competition, for them, this is what the vendors that are involved, the competitors, is they want to win. Right? They want you guys to find them, of course, but they want to win. And they try to do this to become one of the 3 finalists that will compete at IT Nation Connect in November. Those 3 finalists will be competing for the grand prize of $70,000. Now, the nice thing about this is it's not that they just go and they win money. It's actually you guys get to come watch them and see how well they do. So audience participation is always appreciated and expected. Now, as I mentioned, this is a PitchIT episode, but it's not about me talking about PitchIT. We have 2 guests coming on today, which I'm super stoked about. These are the last 2 years. They were amongst they were amongst the top 3 finishers for the program. And they've become very good friends of mine. Actually, I knew one for quite some time. Most people know him because he's every freaking where. But I do want to get them on so they can tell their story. So with all due respect, or without fail, not all due respect, without fail, I want to bring on our first guest from Humanize It, Adam Walter. There he is. What's up, Adam?
How's it going?
You know what? It's going great, man. How are you doing?
That's the problem. When sales pick up and you're kicking butt, like you kind of disappear. It's like, you get busy.
Yeah, you don't call or write anymore. I feel kind of left out. I feel like we had something special, and
well, not since you blocked me on Instagram. So
that's for other reasons. Anyway, so what's new, man? How are things going?
Things going really great. Like we're having a record year. I just had my L10 meeting with the team this morning. We've grown on employees. You can see our trend is just starting to hit that inflection point. But then, of course, as all SaaS companies go, April hits and just gives you a nice reality slap before you head back into your next climb. I don't know what's up with April. If somebody can just let me know in the comments why April is terrible in the SaaS industry, just let me know. I'd love to know.
I mean, I feel what it is, and it, from my years of experience within it, is that everybody's wrapping up contracts at the end of the year, right? They're finishing up their budgets. They're preparing for the next year's budgets. They're doing all that stuff. So and then come January and February, anybody's still kind of doing their due diligence of what to use is still talking to you, right? So January, February, and January is a little slow because of the holiday, right? So the end of January, February to March is when you are wrapping up all this year's new business. And then they all take a break. That's just how it seems. It's how it always seemed to me. And I know that was one thing that I always pushed was get everybody their agreements before the end of the year so they can fit you in the budget.
Yeah, and then we've had a lot of people come back around saying, oh, yeah, we talked to you at IT Nation last year. We talked to IT Nation Secure. We're ready to kick off now. And so it's like, whoa, completely forgot about these people. And they're ready to go. And
I totally love that.
That's been great about the program.
I love that. So, okay, so I don't want to make about the program yet. First off, let's talk more about you. What does Humanize It do?
Humanize IT will help any of your account managers talk to your clients about what your engineers are actually doing. We combine sales and engineering and business knowledge in one conversation by leveraging your client's knowledge of their own business, your engineer's knowledge of technology, and your account manager's knowledge of sales, and helping having meaningful conversations that don't require a lot of effort. And largely that's empowered by your PSA, such as ConnectWise, empowering your QBRs, empowering your conversations. So you just have your talking points on the screen, and now you can say, how can I help you?
Nice. So really the goal behind it all is to help to facilitate more velocity in getting business,
Yep.
ultimately.
Increasing perceived value within an hour of hitting the enroll button on our page. Your project
Yep.
revenue goes up because now your clients know what they're buying. They feel valued, they feel heard, and all you did was change how you had conversations.
Perfect. I appreciate that. I think I really is to have that conversation in a prepared manner to establish value and set proper expectations too.
Yep. There's nothing worse than working really hard for a client and everything's being quiet because you are knocking out tickets, you're knocking out things ahead of time. And then your client says, I don't know what you're doing with us. We're going to switch over to another client, another MSP. Like,
Yep.
where did this come from?
Yes.
And
That's
that
a common problem though. How many times have you heard that though? We have a hard time we did a great job up front. We have a hard time maintaining value, even though we're doing all the work. It's just a hard part of showing them the work we're doing.
showing
Because as
them
long as things aren't a problem, they don't talk to you. It's when there's a problem they talk to you, right? And the thing is, you got to be more proactive. I feel like talking to them during the course of it.
My trick was in the corporate IT world was I would bring a box of donuts to each division every Friday. And I would just sit down and over a box of donuts, just talk. And I
I've done
learned
that.
more about the company and I had more buy-in on my security initiatives because I just sat down with the people. I didn't have to do anything fancy. A box of donuts.
I appreciate that more than you know. So, all right. So 2 years ago, you were in PitchIT.
Yep.
You came out of nowhere. Nowhere. So people were clear that are watching this. Were you in the space? When did you get into our space?
I bought a managed services platform in 2021 and converted it into Humanize IT to augment my consulting practice.
So how long ago did you get into the space again? You said
2021 would have been when we launched Humanize IT.
there you
So
go.
me, Adam Walter, being an MSP provider, was right around 2017. I started doing consulting VCIO, but not actually working with MSPs until about 2020, 2021.
So again, you came out of nowhere, like I said. All of a sudden, I met you, and for everybody watching again, I want to also point out something you can't tell scale to the two of us, but
I'm sitting
if you
close to
ever
the
have the
camera, so I look
privilege,
bigger.
if you ever have the privilege to meet Adam in person, he's 6'8", so he's a presence for sure. He's actually a walking billboard.
That's why I wear
So
the unicorn shirts. If you guys have seen the unicorn shirts, that's us, people.
Exactly. But no, I think it's important for people to know the fact that you came out of nowhere. You established yourself as a predominant figure in our space now, doing what you do. You guys, and one thing I will say is you always are very, very much open to listening to how to improve, and you always reflect on it. And you usually, not that you agree with everything I've ever said, but you take it all in and you do make your adjustments based off the need of the partners.
Yes, it's a very different industry. I was well known in the corporate side, security, and it's just a different game when you control everything. And when you're
Yeah.
working with clients who have to deal with just every mess you can imagine, you have to change how you talk. You have to change what's important. And I have to learn a lot from people like Sean, from Matt, from other people in the industry, especially in the PitchIT program where I talk to a lot of people and like, oh, did you try this? Did you try that? Sales alone in the MSP industry is a freaking nightmare to learn. There's work that needs to be done there. It's not just a magic wand. Like
I
there's
would agree.
work to be done.
There's a lot of investment between time, money, sweat, tears, the whole thing. And people are, and it's rightfully so. These are business owners that are waiting to see if you can assist them.
I tell
the
people I
proper-
wasn't bipolar before I started in the MSP industry.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's the swings, man.
Yes, all the time. So, and I'm going to get you off the screen in a minute and bring on the next guest. But the next guest, though, you were one of the three finishers 2 years ago, and you were the head coach of this person that I'm bringing on next. How did that work out for you? Just real quick, give me 3 words that explain working with this guy as a head coach.
Dynamic, energy.
We'll go with 2.
Awesomeness.
Okay, fair. Okay, so all right, we'll bring you back in a couple minutes. We're going to kick you off and bring on our next guest, and stay tight, hang tight, Adam. All right. So perfect. So now on to our next guest, which is the dynamic awesomeness and high energy. I totally will give the high energy piece. Most of you will. So I want to bring on now our next guest, which is Matthew Koenig from Nodeware. What's up, dude? There it is. Are we jazz handing still? Are we still doing it?
I was gonna say, welcome to my hotel.
Oh, as always. Are we? Is it jazz hands or is it like spirit fingers? I don't know.
Spirit fingers is what my daughter used to do.
Yeah, spirit fingers are this and jazz hands are this.
Yeah, evidently. I don't know. I had a ballet dancer. I just did what she told me.
I just saw it on TV. I don't know. I don't know. So, all right. So, what's up, dude? How you been?
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Things are crazy busy. We're growing like crazy. We've got a million things going on. We're releasing some new features. I mean, it has just been madness in a good way, but madness.
Right. No, I don't. If it's not madness, I feel like you're really not getting anywhere fast.
Not in this industry.
No.
If you're not running 1,000,000 miles an hour with your proverbial hair on fire.
Well, that's why I shave, to be more, I want to.
Then you're not getting anywhere quickly, and I don't know. For me, it's just no fun.
Yeah, I get it. I totally agree with that. By the way, so let's talk a little bit about you and Nodeware, right? I mean, you've been around for a while.
Long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. You can see it on your face. So tell me about yourself real quick.
I've been in the channel for about 15 years. Started with Rapid Fire Tools as their worldwide sales director. Made my way through a bunch of other vendors, taking them to channel, so to speak, or improving their channel presence, overseeing sales, marketing, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's what brought me to Nodeware. Nodeware came and said, look, we've got a great product. We're sort of in the channel, but we need someone to really take us to the next level. And so I jumped on the project, and it's been a blast.
Nice. Okay, so let's talk about what Nodeware is then. They're a great product.
Sure. So Nodeware is a SaaS-based continuous vulnerability platform. It's the only one out there that runs 7x24 in the background. It's platform agnostic, which basically means it doesn't matter the software or operating system. It does a complete asset inventory, including literally down to Nest thermostats and Roomba vacuums. And it's made for MSPs. There's a multi-tenant dashboard. You can see each of your customers. You can dig down and see all the assets. But more importantly, you can dig down on all the vulnerabilities by an asset, and they're ranked so you know what to go after first. And we give you the links to the remediation. So now we don't just say, hey, you got a problem. We actually tell you got a problem, and here's how you can go fix the problem. So it's a unique platform, and compared to a lot of the other people that are out there that MSPs are using, we're having a great rate of, I guess I'll call switch right now over to what we're doing because of the value that it brings to MSPs.
That's awesome. I think a couple key points here that you said was one about being agnostic, right? So every one of our partners are looking to be able to work with us, and if they need you, it has to be compatible.
Yep.
Two is you don't really need us though to use your product.
Nope.
And you do because you need reporting somewhere maybe at some point, but you really don't. You are standalone as well.
We're integrated. We're standalone. I mean, one of the reasons, as you know, we integrated with you guys is because we want people to be able to create tickets if they want to right from the platform.
Right.
And you guys were the ones we wanted to jump into first because of what you said. Your ecosystem is so dynamic yet so open. Mm-hmm. It feels like a true partnership, not a hey, we're going to try to create every product we possibly can to compete with you, but hey, we do this well, you do this well. How can we partner together and work with the MSPs to make them better? That's why we're so committed to the ConnectWise ecosystem.
What I can definitely second that. And before I came to ConnectWise, I was you, and that was one of the things. Right, amen. Right, here I am. And so yeah, a big part for us was actually having the ability to be in a community that we could grow in, and that's without growth, you're done. You're dead in the water. We all know that.
They always say for kids, right? It takes a village to raise a kid. It takes a village to take care of the MSPs. And if you're not willing to work together, then you're going to find yourself out real quick.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. So, all right. So, like you said, it's been busy so you are one of the 3 finishers. last year.
I'm still bitter.
Of 26 vendors, you were top 3. That's
Still
pretty. And actually, and technically of more than 26 vendors, because there were more people that applied that did not make the program too.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's great.
I mean, and how long has Nodeware been in business for?
This platform has been around a little over 6 years, but really in the channel since about 1.5 years now, probably.
So again, 2 vendors in a row talking to you right now that both only came months prior to the actual competition, the program starting. So to have you guys go from that to this, and you're everywhere too, that's a lot to take in, right? That's a lot to do. That's a lot of success.
Absolutely. It's been a ridiculous amount of success, especially, going through the PitchIT program. I mean, look, I know we're here to talk about that today, but you also know me. I'm no bullshitter. I can't. I have no filter. And
Nah.
exactly. And any of the MSPs listening know that as well. But I can't stress how much it helped. It really did. I mean, I joke about being bitter about coming in third, but in actuality, and I think I've told you this a million times, you know what? Third is just as good. I liken it to an American Idol competition. You may not win, but guess what? 2 through 20 get contracts also.
Yeah.
So same thing with PitchIT. Guess what? I don't care if out of 26 you're 26, 2 through 26 get a lot of benefits also. It's not, I came in 26, I got nothing. No, you got a lot.
Agreed. I appreciate that. And I remember when we talked about you joining, sign up for it. And you're like, what do you mean? And I'd explain to you. And I was like, just do it. And you're like, okay, fine. And you applied and you made it, which is great. All right, cool. So we're going to bring back before we bring him on, 3 words about your previous, your head coach.
Intelligent, motivated, eccentric.
I'll give you the last one for sure. Okay, great. All right, so let's bring Adam back on, the eccentric one.
The eccentric one.
Is it the unicorn that makes me eccentric, or was it something else?
Oh God, really? You think that was the one thing, really?
The new eccentric is quirky, and everybody says I'm quirky as hell also. So
okay.
I wear it like a badge of honor. I love it.
I always tell my kids, be weird.
Right.
Embrace your weird.
Normal, forget it.
Be like dad. Just be like dad. I mean, I think I agree with that because that's what I teach my kids too. To be absolutely abnormally, ignorantly happy all the time.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. All right. So again, just to level set this, both of you were in the PitchIT program. Both you made it to the finals. But one of you only really got a physical prize. And so there was a running joke for those watching. I want to get this out of the way now because we might as well. For those of you that watched last year's podcast and everything else and listened in, Marvin B, good friend of mine, good friend of the channel, another MSP, does a podcast series, and he helped. He was willing. He was so gracious and hosted all the interviews last year. And he and I would get on, and the very first time, and I just made it up. He's like, "So what third place get?" I was like, "Steak knives." And so he would, every time he mentioned the prizes, he would tell everybody steak knives. So for third place was steak knives. Now back to Matthew's bitterness. Marvin was at the finals in Orlando last year at IT Nation Connect. And when we made the final formal announcements, and I'm not going to say who took third place, but Marvin B delivered steak knives to Matthew Koenig. Physical steak knives from the dollar store in plastic. So now I'll leave that story there and kick it off to you, Adam. Then what happened?
So Matt and I are commiserating about, the fact that obviously the judges have been bought off and Matt doesn't deserve the steak knives. And so he slips into me. And so I'm in the queue at the booth, and I throw them into my laptop case, not even thinking about it. And that's probably the last time I thought about these steak knives for the rest of the conference, until I got home and realized that they had ridden in my laptop case through security at the airport onto the plane and back off.
And your thought was, I have TSA pre-check, so they don't care about my luggage. That's why I got the knives through.
I have no idea. Like, I was not even, if they had pulled him out of my briefcase at the check, I'd be like, oh crap, I'm just been banned for life.
You'd be
Nah,
driving all
TSA
your
would have had a nice pair of steak knives.
Yeah.
right. With countless of my torch lighters. So if I understand correctly, Matthew did not appreciate Marvin B's gift to him and just pawned it off on somebody else to set you up to possibly go to prison.
Correct.
Okay, that's all. Wow,
Man,
Matthew,
that's some serious bitterness right there.
Right? That's stone cold killer, right?
Taking everybody down.
Right?
Hey, if I have to lose, everybody's got to lose.
Everybody's going to lose. No, but seriously though, like, like when we were walking into that I'm like, oh my gosh, Matt's such a fantastic speaker. We got this in the bag. We went over that, like hitting every key point. We went through this, like, man, we got this in the bag. There's no way. And we're just sitting back there, I'm having my cold beer and talking to other contestants from previous years. And so I still say in my heart, Matt, you're the real winner here. So
thank you very much.
The man tried to send you to prison. Adam.
And honestly, I just want to go on record here. I'm not that much of a sore loser. I live in Atlanta. Had I thought I could get the knives through security back again, I would have put them in my carry-on and I'd proudly display them. Nobody can see, but when I'm in my home office, you can see the shelf behind me where I have some.
Yes,
I would have proudly
get you little mounts like swords, like katanas crossing.
I would have proudly displayed those.
Steak knives.
Unlike Adam, I went steak knives. Carry on. Not gonna happen.
We can put that in a frame and be like the PitchIT battle of 2023. And
I think they should get passed down. Yeah. Honestly, I think they should get framed and they should get passed down to third place.
Doing again, Adam? He wants you to put them back on TSA with you and see if you can make it again. See what's it?
I have some woodworking skill. I can see if I can build something this year.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Can you imagine every year third place gets that set of steak knives in a frame that says,
oh, that'd be great. Actually,
I lost PitchIT.
You have to make it through TSA with this.
Oh my God! It's like,
that's now reward.
Now it's mission. It's part of the Accelerator Incubator Program. You must get through.
Exactly.
Nice. So
that's a new skill that
we'll give it to the pen tester, whoever the pen testers are this year.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So
that's the fun of the program, though, right? We all have a good time. It's not just boring, like sitting around staring at PowerPoints.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually enjoyable.
That's a good point right now to segue into something that we talked about in the green room prior to making friends, increasing network. There's a couple of things that make you successful in the space. One is first off, it's always a reinvestment, right? A reinvestment of money, of time, of work. The other one is finding the right strategic partnerships as well, right?
Yep.
So, and I'll start with you, Adam. I think you mentioned that you actually are doing integrations with some of the PitchIT vendors that you were in with.
Yeah. Shout out to Tim Golden over Compliance Scorecard. We'll be launching our integration so that you can look at your compliance as a service in your QBRs just automatically. Hey, how's the client scoring? How are they doing? So you can say, hey, here's where you are. Here's where we need to go. Here's the projects we need to complete to make you better. It's just a really great match between the two of us. So this idea of working with best-in-class solution providers rather than just being stuck with one, you can now say, I am working with Compliance Scorecard, best in class. I'm working with Humanize IT, best in class, and providing your client the best in class support.
Nice. Matthew, you have a couple that you're working with as well.
Oh yeah. Shout outs to VCIO Toolbox, Talevi, Tim at Compliance Scorecard. I mean, all of these came out of stuff and all of these are integrations. Some of them are pure integrations where they send them back to us. In Talevi's case, they're actually selling our software as part of the platform with the information it brings in. So it's been, it's been great relationships above and beyond just the exposure we got.
Nice. Good. Okay. And back to having fun and whatnot. Those, again, the people that are watching and they're trying to determine what, should they apply? Why should they care? And the partners, why should they care, right? Same questions, right? And Matthew, sticking with you, why should anybody apply for the program?
Well, first of all, the amount of knowledge you get. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Over 16 weeks, you meet with different people that are experts in their field and experts in the subject matter. And when I say experts, I don't mean someone that's got some knowledge, but I mean experts, people that have not just done it, but done it on high levels, performed at high levels with what they're teaching you. So you're going to get so many bits of information, you know, and of course you're not going to be able to take every little bit of it, but I got news for you. Over those 16 weeks, you take 3 things away from each hour. I think it was an hour or 2 hour long block of work, you're going to radically change the way you do business, the way you go to market, you know, the way you do sales, marketing, social media. It's literally like somebody gave you a vendor MBA in a box and said, you have a great idea. You've started to do your thing. Here's how you can accelerate that to the next level at light speed. So it's just fantastic. And again, the exposure, you know, if you haven't been really good at marketing and brand awareness, one of the things this industry, you know, for newer vendors may not know this. For us, we've been living it. They want to see you. They want to talk to you. They want to know who you are, meaning MSPs, if they're your customer. Mm-hmm. Just because you call them and say, I've got a great yeah, good luck with that. So it is an amazing way to build your brand and do it alongside companies that people trust and respect, and therefore they will talk to you because, well, wait, they wouldn't have picked them. They wouldn't partner with them if they didn't see something cool about them.
Right. No, that's fair. So you get, it's almost the opposite of guilty by association, but you receive.
You get credibility by association.
By association, correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, you have to go through the application process, and you know, you have to have certain things in place, and you have to be, you know, it's not so much you have to have a certain product, but you have to have a certain goal, I guess, or at least some structure to who you want to be when you grow up. And then you join this program and it'll take you there. You cannot pay possibly for the amount of knowledge and coaching you're going to get over 16 weeks. And if you tried to pay for it, I don't know, based on the people that I know are on these calls and everything from consulting standpoint, you'd probably pay $100,000, $150,000 in fees to have the same kind of knowledge.
That's fair. I mean, considering who you're talking to, you're talking about people that have billable hours of $1,000.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Usually. And so, and not counting any kind of thing you do afterwards with them too, for free,
yep.
Just because it's about the friendships, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing. I mean, you bring that up, the community, even with the coaches. Look, once you've talked to someone, you have any questions, they are happy to answer them. You know, these are some people that you may not have known about, or known about and never thought that you could get them to talk to you because of who they are and whatever. And now guess what? They'll answer your emails. They'll get on a call with you for 30 minutes and explain stuff or give you an idea or help you. Again, you can't possibly, and when I say you can't afford, most people can't possibly afford to have every one of these people involved in their business. They'd go broke.
Yep. Especially as a startup.
That's where I'm going to go right now with that, Adam. Startup bootstrap companies that are always trying to get, you said it to me when we first started talking, you're going to invest in the ConnectWise community for the next umpteen years right now because there's so much business in it that you don't have to leave it right now. However, that comes at a cost, right? So being bootstrapped and making sure that your investments are sound for growth. What value are you receiving out of what original value did you receive from PitchIT, and what's that turned into since then?
Well, as you kind of said, I came from the corporate world, which is a much different game. And learning the dynamics of this industry, the uniqueness of it, the close-knitness. I think you established early on, like, Adam, you need to work on your presence. You need to get out there. People need to see who you are, because that's how you get business done, is relationships, which I've always been a big fan of, building relationships. And so out of the PitchIT, and as we've gone through like the second round here, like talking to people, meeting more people in the industry that say, hey, here's how we succeed. Here's where we've done well. And people are always asking me like, hey, what did you think about IT Nation last year? Should we go this year? I'm like, here's what went well for us. here's what didn't go well for us. So I lean into this. Like there's 1,000 vendors out there. How are you going to distinguish yourself? I have a giant unicorn. What are you going to do? And so like, how do you get that thing that's going to rocket your company up? So if you look at our growth, we were sitting there like nice and flat and happy, right? Which is not happy for those of us who want growth. But then you see all of a sudden PitchIT, and you see the angle starts going up about 4 months after PitchIT. And it's been doing this since then. With the exception of that stupid economy Q2 last year. Let's not talk about that, people.
That was an interesting moment, wasn't it? And everybody, and all of a sudden everything was going to hell. They thought, oh my God, everything's gonna go down.
But I'm talking to my other people in the industry, and I'm like, hey, how are things going for you guys? And they're like, not gonna lie, it's been a little stagnant. And I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. I shouldn't change my sales process. I should be looking at, do I need to shift? And maybe build a little bit more of a product while the sales are in a lull? Should I do something different? My company take advantage of this lull? Rather than thinking, oh my gosh, I'm doing something wrong, I should change my entire sales strategy. I think, no, the economy is just is leveling or is taking a dip right now. Let's use this as an advantage to build some more of my product while sales are low.
Right. It's like investment, right? If you're smart and you have the money, when the market goes way down, that's when you buy like crazy, when everybody's freaking out. And I love your concept. It's the same thing. I mean,
well, that won't happen until after the election's over again. So right now everything's gonna be high, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's been, little things that I did. I never had time to write a bunch of marketing emails, right? And you know me, I have a unique voice, the way I talk to people. So so there's no one that can, write the email the way I want to write them. So heck, I wrote a bunch of emails, sent them out to lists of people that said, hey, you can talk to me. I picked up 20 demos for 10 minutes worth of work.
Yeah.
I mean, and I never would have had time to slow down and do that, right, during normal times.
Peak time, right? Absolutely. No, you're right. Well, okay. So, did you find? And this is more for Adam first, because him being newer to the space. Did you find the ability to be able to do this because of you're becoming more aware and understanding of the space itself?
Yeah, you're getting more empathy. You get these people who've been working in this industry for 20 years. And they're like, look, this is what they actually want to know. This is how they actually want to be treated. And so we try to pass that along in our sales calls now. Like, I've had to learn how to be a salesperson. Like, it's just, it's not just a matter of just talking to somebody, but there's a rhythm to it. So they feel heard. They feel like you're solving a problem for them. And talking to people, like in the corporate industry, it's more along the lines of, do I have budget for this? And there's a high level of trust that this is what I need, so I'm going to buy it. Yep. As long as I stay within budget. Whereas in the MSP industry, you got to justify yourself. You've got to this is obvious, but now I've got this bootstrapped client who needs to know, why do I need to spend $2,500 on this thing? Why do I need you to cover me 24/7? Why do I need backups for something that probably will never happen? Right. And so helping empower my clients, empower MSPs. In fact, the PitchIT program's kind of encouraged us to take that whole pay it forward on, where if you're a small MSP just getting started, you're branching off doing your own, just talk to us. We'll give you an extra long trial so you can get off the ground. We want to believe in people that are doing great things.
I love that. I love that the pay it forward is important. But you're also investing in the success of them, which in return is the success of you. If everything, as long as they stick on track. Yep. Because they're going to grow.
Yeah. And we got a number of clients like that where they're MSPs that just starting out, like in a foreign country, or they spun off a VCIO practice. I'm like, hey, look, just get in and just let us know. Do you need longer? And if you need advice, ask us. We're here. We want to help you. What are we seeing amongst other MSPs? How's the industry moving along? And a lot of these people who are just starting up and they've got a good niche they're working in, something that's being underserved, like underprivileged schools or something like that, they really appreciate this extra help. And then we feel good about it because we're helping this area of IT or helping this area of the industry that's just been kind of neglected. So we're removing that barrier, one barrier of entry, our little piece of barrier entry we're removing for them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, you got to give back. You have to. It's a big industry, small community, and you have to be willing to pitch in just like that. Look, I want you to buy my product eventually, but right now If you're not ready to, or it doesn't make sense, great. Let me help you with something else.
Yep.
Let me teach you how to sell. Let me help you. I've got one MSP who will remain nameless right now because not fair to them, but they had a large client and they were trying to put our software in it and they were giving them a hard time about this. So we sat down and I sat down with their sales leader and the CEO and we sat for an hour and went through, okay, what are they saying? Why are they saying it? Like, okay, have you asked them this question? Blah, 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 blah. To the point where I even put together a bunch of documentation, not on Noteware, on a compliance framework for them, so they can go out and sell their project. And you know what? It may not help me today, but it'll come back around eventually.
It'll come back.
Whether that means them coming back or whether that means going, you got to work with these people. They're amazing. It's great. And you know what? I honestly can say this, and Andrew, if he's listening, will probably kill me. Andrew's my boss. I know you guys know that, for anybody listening. I get more satisfaction for helping an MSP or whatever, the light bulb go on and go, oh, holy crap, okay, yes, that'll make a difference. And a lot of time that has nothing to do with the product.
Yeah, I had a great conversation with a not to be named MSP, and they specifically focus on one industry. Now, I was very interested because they focus on vineyards, and I want to be in good with those people. I will give away my product for free.
Can you make introductions after this?
Yes. Yeah, it's actually up in your country.
Because I have an MSP that's over in Scotland that their clients are the people that produce scotch.
So he has a unique problem, right? He's serving clients who are in controlled substances, agriculture and sales and entertainment. And he's got this great stack that he's been doing. He's like, you know what? But I'm not like other MSPs. So I really can't call myself an MSP because I don't sell all of this huge stack out there. And so he bought in one of the industry's large stacks. And then I said, look, what are you doing? You have a captive set of clients who love you, you are doing a great job for. I need you to ask yourself, why do you need all that other stuff? Really ask yourself. Do your clients need that? Is it going to help them succeed in any of those 4 areas that you've been helping them with for the past 20 years? And he goes, you know what? That's a really great point. I'm like, I can't answer that for you, but you should really think about, like, are you trying to be like everybody else? Or are you trying to be like you?
Yeah.
We're going to Kung Fu Panda this.
Yeah. I like that, but I also think that the acronym MSP is skewed, just like MSSP, right? MSP means managed service provider. So it's whatever services you're managing. You don't have to, there's no predetermined set of tools you must have. There's no predetermined what you should offer as a service itself. Because I know some of them that do just strictly cybersecurity pieces, right? And that's all they do. They're not, and it's not even continuous support in some cases. Sometimes it's literally they're going in to find all the issues, report it through whoever the MSP is. Right, but they're also an MSP at that point. So I don't think there's one set. Well, there never has been. Not that I know or don't know. There is not one set criteria. So I think that was good advice. Now, it's weirdly enough though, with all this, as these MSPs, and we've been so far this interview's been more around talking to vendors, but with a sprinkle of MSPs, why they should even look at you guys. The fact of the matter though is, why should MSPs pay attention to PitchIT? Why should they be watching this? And Adam, you're on a roll, so you might as well go.
Because the barrier to entry in this field is really high. If you don't have a large investor behind you, if you don't have a deep pockets, starting a software company or a tool company for MSPs is ridiculously expensive. And that's just if you want to be at small booths, you're looking at $30,000 a table per event, and you're expected to go to 12 events a year. And then you have your dev costs and your employee costs, and you have your regular marketing costs. So the chance of you seeing a truly innovative product hit the line is going to be small, because the innovators are being pushed to the side for people with deep pockets. And as we all know, just because you have deep pockets doesn't mean you have the best product. I'm looking at you, BlackBerry. And we all know what happened to them. Look what happened to Palm. Like, these little companies come up and they just destroy the market. We've seen this happen in tech over and over and over again. And so What is the innovator out there? What if there was a great engineer came with a great tool that solved a bunch of problems you're having right now, but you don't hear about them because they don't have a private investor, because they just weren't very good at raising capital, or they're like me, they're bootstrapped. We're still founder owned. There's no investors in Humanized IT. We are owned by MSPs largely because you are our clients and we serve you. And how would you hear about us? Unless we were to say, hey, I'm going to go out and get somebody to invest $6 million in us so we can go on a 2-year road trip. And then now I'm beholden to my investor. Well, now my innovation is getting lower. We've seen a lot of companies who get acquired and their innovation dies. The innovation happens on the ground level, people.
I would agree. I couldn't agree more.
So watching PitchIT, you get this.
And I love that. I think that's just a testament to everything you and I talked about from the very beginning when you first signed up and got involved. The fact of learning the space, figuring out what to do, making sure you spend the money in the right places, getting the awareness you need, being able to show up on stage, essentially, right? Because without a show up on stage somewhere, you're almost nowhere, right? So, and you did a great job of jumping into it too. And there you are. You're still here and you're growing exponentially, which is
I love removes that barrier of entry for all of us who are innovating. And then you guys vet out, are you actually innovating or are you a charlatan? Everybody who's in the PitchIT in that final group, amongst that final group of 18 to 27, every one of them have been vetted out. They have a great process. They have a solid product and they are innovating. They did not pay for a seat here. They earned their seat.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
agreed.
And that's a great point, because the other thing is that I think MSPs need to look at is there are a lot of large vendors out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not beating up on anybody that's large. But you don't know when you're going to come across a solution that you really find checks a box for you, or the concept of it, or the people do. And don't ever underestimate the idea of getting in early and being able to help them shape the product the way you think it needs. Because you know what? A lot of these owners are willing to listen.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think the product should be, because they're trying to sell it to you. It only matters what you think it should be.
Yep.
So you can now get involved. You can have an active hand in shaping the product to be what you think it should be. And you know what? There's a lot of loyalty that goes into that long term. So you can establish these relationships with these people where you have a lot of power, get discounts because it's just starting out, and then maybe even keep those for what turns into be a fantastic product.
Yeah. And we have a dev process. We actually have a process for MSPs who want something specific. Like, look, if you can just allow us to see this or export this field to sell, then that will save us 1,000 hours a year. I'm like, oh, well, that's only like $2,500 of dev hours. Do you just want to buy that?
Yep.
We'll just own the IP. We'll give it to you at cost. And now you have exactly what you wanted. And you don't have to build it yourself. We see a lot of MSPs trying to build things themselves, and it's going to take them a while to build this thing. Like, look, work with us. We're here. Like, everything you see in the Humanized platform was built because an MSP said, it'd be a great idea. And so we put it on our list of let's prioritize that. We got some great features coming out this year that came up from MSPs just brainstorming, how can I save time? How can I get a better value for my customer? And we thought, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. We've got one coming out in June, same thing. I mean, most of the features we've added, basically an MSP has said, hey, I really like this idea. And we've gone, huh. And so we've asked a few more people, and then a few more people. And then we've asked, hey, what would that look like? Because it's also another thing to say, I want this. And then you throw it together. And it's like, well, wait, that's not actually what I was thinking. So we'll sit down with people and go, okay, what does that look like? Take me through the process of how that makes your life easier. Then we'll take that and we'll go back. And as I said, there are a couple of features that are being introduced in June for that very reason. We had a bunch of MSPs that said, I want it. We sat down and said, okay, that's great. Tell us what it would look like. And then, of course, we came out in beta, gave it to a lot of them. They gave feedback, and, we're real excited about it.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to be wrapping up here in a few minutes. So any parting words or words of wisdom? I'm not talking to you, Matt. I'm talking to Adam only, especially in the wisdom part.
Wow.
I know, right?
The fact that he put me above you, Matt, you must be really low.
Oh, you're
I used to be his side chick, and I got thrown to the side.
Oh,
I got thrown right to the side. Wow.
Wow, that's good. Thank you for that.
Oh,
Oh, my camera blurred up on that. Look at that. Oh my God. So any words of wisdom you want to say, Adam?
Try to fulfill a need. Look at the industry, fill a need. It's even to MSPs there. Look at your clients. What do they need? What is their need? What are they trying to solve? And then for you vendors out there trying to start a new company, trying to break into the field, what are you doing that's going to help your clients? What pain point are you solving? Focus on that.
I love you said pain point and focus because I can't get my camera to focus.
I was trying
So
how can I slip focus into this? Because I'm all about fun.
My pain point right now is I can't get my camera to focus on.
well, I'm just curious. I said what I said, and then all of a sudden you went blurry. So
I know. I don't know. I mean, karma.
How much whiskey have you had today, Sean?
This much. This much. All right. Matt, anything from you, man?
yeah, I mean, just remember, MSPs, you don't have to have a million tools. Focus. What do you want to do? Who do you want to do it for? And then make sure your tools reflect that. But you don't have to buy every freaking tool on the market.
Yeah.
Understand what they do and make sure they're useful to you. They actually bring you value back to you and your customers.
Yep.
And from a vendor perspective, especially new ones, be unique. Come up with something that really changes, what either a technology is doing or something new that's brought. But the real thing is, I know a lot of founders that are developers and stuff like that, and they develop this great stuff. Just remember something. You're not developing this for you. You're developing it for whoever your audience is. And if that's MSPs, get them involved early and often, and make sure the product you're developing is something they want, they need, and it does, what people want. Because I know a lot of founders that make this great product, and then it's like, well, this one does it, this one does it, this one does it, this one does it. Now you're spending your time selling against everybody else rather than providing something which you've gotten feedback that everybody wants and it's different.
So maybe we just change the word product to call it a solution. I don't know, because they're solving a problem. That's what they want. So maybe we take the word product and move it away. Even though you have to identify it's a product at some point, or a software or a hardware, whatever it is.
Exactly.
But it should be focusing on a solution, which is solving a problem. Yep. Provide a solution for a problem.
Yep.
That's it. So I totally agree with that. Now, all right. So we're up on time here. Thank you, gentlemen. I totally appreciate it. Look, I'll be seeing you both I'll see one of you at Secure. Not Adam, because Adam won't be
You'll
there.
see the better partner at Secure.
Skip. He has good hair also.
We'll be talking with an MSP on risk analysis. So
he has good hair. He has very good hair also. And Matthew, we will be seeing you at Secure. You have a booth. And for those of you that are watching still, today is the last day, as I mentioned, to apply for those vendors. You'll see across the bottom of the screen, we have the link there. connectwise.com/theitnation/PitchIT. So if you want to be considered for the program, you must apply. The vetting will take place from tomorrow, clear till Friday. Over the next 2 weeks, we will announce the vendors that make it into the program. We are looking for the 26 best ones of the applicants as of now. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap it up here with you both. Thank you so much. Thank you, IT Nation, for watching. Mark, yes, my shirt is cool. We give out free shirts every year at the competition. We come up with a different theme every year. So you want a dope shirt, you should show up.
Although there'll be one for me.
You don't even wear shirts. You wear freaking ponchos. Anyway, boat sales. Take your pick. But again, IT Nation, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys all very soon.
Yes, sir.
Toodles.
Thank you.
Thank you.